This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, good evening, everybody. I apologize for the delay in the start of the meeting. It's 6:40. We had some technical difficulties here at the town hall. This is June 28th, 2023 at 6:40 p.m. now. This is the Auburn Finance Committee. We're going to read our remote participation script, confirming member access. This open meeting of the Auburn Finance Committee is being conducted both in person and remotely, consistent with Chapter 107 of the Acts of 2022, which suspends the requirement of the open meeting law to have all meetings in a publicly accessible physical location. Further, all members of public bodies are allowed to participate remotely as long as reasonable public access is afforded so that the public can follow along with the deliberations of the meeting. For the public to join the meeting remotely by telephone, 1-786-535-3211, access code 991-599-357, or the public can join via computer at global.gotomeeting.com/join/991-599-357. All supporting materials that have been provided to members of this body are available on the town's website. The public is encouraged to follow along using the posted agenda. Please note this meeting is being recorded by Auburn Cable Television. Permit me to confirm that all members and persons anticipated on the agenda participating remotely are present and can hear me. Members, when I call your name, please respond in the affirmative. Ed Coleman.
Here.
Michael Marshall.
Here.
We'll say remotely. Patrick Jones.
Here.
And I'm Kevin Kennedy. Town officials and employees participating, when I call your name, please respond in the affirmative. CFO Town Accountant Karen Harnois.
Here.
Administrative Assistant Sharon Kwiatkowski. Here. Okay. I believe that and all votes tonight will be taken via roll call vote, as Mr. Marshall is remote this evening. On the agenda, we have some transfer requests, some minutes, and then we will adjourn. We're going to take, we have one transfer request from the Board of Health. We'll go first to the Board of Health. And Michael, I did send you this one. You got that one. Okay, thank you. This was a last minute one. But we have that in front of us now. So this transfer is coming from the salary account, the inspector's account. The amount requested, $3,395, going to the kennel maintenance account to cover kennel doors. Darlene, do you want to tell us someone about that one?
Yes, good evening. Thank you very much. Darlene Coyle from Department of Development and Inspectional Services. I appreciate you considering this request. So the request is for some kennel doors for the kennel down at Millbury Street. We do have 9 kennels, and this order would be for 9 kennel doors. There are existing kennel doors there. However, they are not insulated. And we have had some challenges with heat loss in the winter, and then also keeping the kennel cool in the warmer months. In the existing kennel doors, we typically put some towels at the bottom of it to try to mitigate some of that loss. So these kennel doors are going to allow the kennel to have a better seal for energy use and keeping the animals warm and cool in the 2 seasons. We did face some challenges. We did start earlier in the process for the PO. Unfortunately, we faced some challenges with the vendor initially on trying to make the purchase happen. And so we worked through those challenges, and then we came to challenges for how long it was going to take to get the doors. So we knew that they would not be here by the time that we would have to pay the bills for the end of fiscal year, which I think is mid-July. And so that's the reason for the transfer request. The plan, in speaking with the CFO, she was open to considering it, being able to place the order to get these doors. So the plan would be, once the transfer request happened, if you considered that, we would do a carryover request as well.
Members, any questions? Just one quick question. Is that the cost of the doors? Is the facilities division going to take care of the installation of the doors? Is that both?
Yes, so our animal control officer did speak with the facilities division, and they did assess it, and they can do the work.
Thank you.
Motion to approve. Second.
A motion and a second. All in favor? The roll call, yep. Ed?
Yes.
Patrick?
Yes.
Michael?
Yes.
And the vice chair votes yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll continue on with the transfer. We'll go right in order at this point. So this next one is from the town clerk elections division. Transfer coming from, I don't think we have anybody from the clerk's office, but from the travel meetings education account, amount requested $471.54, going to the contracted services. And the reason for the transfer, unexpected bill for dog tag website. Interesting. Any questions?
Motion to approve.
A motion? Do you have a second on that one?
Second.
A motion, and a
Second.
second? All in favor? Ed?
Yes.
Patrick?
Yes.
Michael?
Yes.
I vote yes as well. Also, this one's coming from the miscellaneous supplies account, amount requested $318.46, going again to contracted services for the same unexpected bill for dog tag website.
Motion to approve. Second.
Motion and a second, all in favor? Ed?
Yes.
Patrick?
Yes.
Michael?
Yes.
I vote yes as well. Okay, this one's, next transfer will come from the police department. And I think there's several, and Patrick usually my expert on which ones we can combine, so I'll let you peruse that.
Actually, I just did, and there really isn't, we're gonna have to, on the second, the last 7 of them are all going to the same account into overtime, so I'll,
We can
wait
combine
till we
those as
get,
well.
we'll get through the first 3, and then I'll make a motion.
Okay, we'll do the 3 and then we'll do a motion on it.
Yep.
Very good. Okay, welcome, Deputy Chief. Thank you. We'll go through this. The first request coming out of the meetings and education accounts. The amount requested is $1,658 going to clothing uniform account. And the reason to correct a line deficit of $257.59 in that account. Any questions?
Motion to approve. Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor? Ed?
Yes.
Patrick?
Yes.
Michael?
Yes.
I vote yes. Next one comes from the training account. Amount requested $3,761.15, going into the technology support. And this is to allow payment of invoices received.
Motion to approve. Second.
I just have one quick question before we get to, I know we've discussed the technology end and that it seems to be the way the contract's written, or there's sort of this variable technology. Just as another example of maybe future looks at when we sign on for these vendors that we look at.
Yeah, I ran a report, excuse me, ran a report this morning. Actually, we've paid approximately $44,000 to this technology support company for everything they do during the course of the year. And we just recently received a bill around $3,100 for regular monthly costs. And I always check with our IT person to ensure that what they said they're doing, they have done, because I honestly don't know. So before I pay it, I always make sure it was done.
Thank you. Any other questions on this one? We have a motion in a second. All in favor? Ed?
Yes.
Patrick?
Yes.
Michael? I didn't get you, Mike. Yes, okay. And I vote yes as well.
Sorry, I went on mute.
That's okay.
Yes.
Next one comes from the patrol officer account. Amount requested $9,460.72. Going to the dispatcher's account. The reason being to correct a deficit of $6,207.52 and account for remaining $2,255.80. Anticipated it's cut off there. I don't know what the if it has an anticipated on that. Any questions on this account?
I'm curious, we're closing out the patrol officer for the year, but we're only at a need of 6,200. Is there a reason why we're taking the other 3?
There's $2,255.80. Excuse me, those are the anticipated remaining part-time shifts. It's very
So it's
close.
anticipated part-time shifts is what we're missing. Got it. Okay.
This is actually a transfer. I probably owe an apology to Mr. Marshall, because in March, he cautioned me about transferring too much out of the dispatch line, and perhaps I was a little bit too aggressive because I didn't take into account the number of dispatch shifts are kind of a moving target, but he actually did say something at the March meeting to me, so
Great. Thank
I'll do better next year.
We would have been here either way.
Probably true.
Any other questions on this one?
you. Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion and second, all in favor? Ed?
Aye.
Patrick?
Yes.
Michael?
Yes.
And I vote yes as well.
Through the chair, motion to take the next 6 transfers as one.
Second.
Okay, a motion and second, take those next, what'd you say, 6? 6 transfers as one? Okay, Ed?
Motion to approve.
On the motion to take,
Oh, yes, motion to
Patrick?
approve.
Yes.
Michael?
Yes.
And I vote yes as well. Okay, so these are all going to the overtime account. First one, Communications Director. Amount requested $16,568.91. Reason for special events and shift coverage. Next one's coming from the Sergeant's account, $4,055.45, again for special events and shift coverage. Next one from the Lieutenant's account. Amount requested $2,878.92, again for shift coverage and special events. Lieutenant's, next account, Lieutenant's Quinn. Amount requested $3,273.31, also going to shift coverage and special events. From the Physical Fitness account, amount requested $2,000, going to the to overtime for shift coverage and special events. And the last one from the Longevity account, amount requested $2,400, going again to the overtime account for shift coverage and special events. Sir, do you want to cover? That's a.
So the total of those transfers is $31,176.59. Excuse me. We had, the CFO and I had spoken in probably May, discussed whether or not to come to the early meeting, just to transfer this, we'll try and ride as close as I could to the end. And we opted to wait till the end, so as of before this week's payroll hit, we had $2,757.87. And we paid out $16,000 in overtime this week. So this will give us, after everything's said and done, it'll give us $17,000 for the remainder of the fiscal year, which is only 2 more days. But we have the fireworks coming up on tomorrow night as of right now. Excuse me. And that's about a $7,000 obligation approximately, providing that it goes off and everything is fine tomorrow night. And then whatever other overtime, there's possibility of other unanticipated things. We had some investigations overtime. We had some sick calls last week that kind of led to a spike in things. But ideally, that's gonna give us enough, and there'll hopefully be some left over, and that'll be reverted at that point, so.
Motion to approve. Second.
While we've got you though, I'm gonna ask a quick question. So you mentioned, I didn't get Ms. Coyle and Ozzy, are we looking good for tomorrow night? I couldn't wait and ask. Go ahead.
Yeah, we met the department heads met this morning with the town manager, and as of right now, yes, it looks like the fireworks company needed at least a preliminary answer by midday or so today. From what I understand, like, they commit to it by 7 o'clock tomorrow morning, and it's a go to, hopefully the weather doesn't do anything. Hopefully they're getting it out of its system tonight, so.
Thank you. I believe we have a motion in a second. All in favor? Ed?
Yes.
Patrick?
Yes.
Michael?
Yes.
And I vote yes as well. Any others, Deputy? Is that
The last, there's
one more?
Page.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Okay, this one's also the police department, coming from the publications account. Amount requested $646, and I believe that is 62 cents. Going to the chief's holiday account, and it is to account for the Juneteenth holiday.
Motion to approve. Second.
A motion and a second. All in favor, Ed?
Yes.
Patrick?
Yes.
Michael?
Yes.
And I vote yes as well.
thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Appreciate everything you shared.
Happy New Year.
Okay, we have Chief Coleman on remotely. We're moving to the fire department. Transfers now. Good evening, Chief.
Good evening.
I don't think we can combine these because one's coming from the reserve account.
Okay, very good, thank you. Okay, the first request coming from the technology support account, amount requested $6,019, going to the overtime account to cover expected overtime expenses. And I'm just gonna read the other one, and then Chief, if you want to give us an update, I think then we can, the next one, well, Chief, why don't you, if we have questions, why don't you just cover the overtime and expected overtime expenses, where we are relative to year end, and then we can approve them individually.
Sure, Mr. Chairman. So as it stands right now, we currently have a negative balance in the overtime account of $4,615.92. So the two transfers that you have before you coming from inside the department between technology support and license and certifications, that's about $6,400. I'm sorry, that totals about $10,000 plus dollars. With what we have committed in overtime for this week already, this transfer is still going to put us in a negative balance of $4,700. So then that reserve fund transfer is for the amount that will still be in deficit after this transfer. The amount requested tonight, the exact amount of $4,724.51
Lost you there for a little.
is our known overtime between now and June 30th. But it does not account for any emergency callback, but this is all of the known overtime that we have at this point.
Okay, thank you, Chief. So on that first one, there's $6,019. Any questions on that?
Motion to approve?
Second,
Motion second. All in favor? Ed?
Yes.
Patrick?
yes.
Michael?
Yes.
I vote yes as well. The next one coming from the license and certification account, the amount requested $4,408. So it's going to the overtime account as well to cover expected overtime expenses. Any questions?
Motion to approve?
Second,
I have a motion and a second on that. All in favor? Ed?
Yes.
Patrick?
yes.
Michael?
Yes.
And I vote yes as well. Okay, and this one is a transfer request coming from the reserve account. Be coming from the, I'm sorry. Yeah, so it's coming from the reserve account, going to the overtime account, amount requested $4,725. And the reason for the shortage in the account is deficit in fire rescue overtime, the overtime account.
Motion to approve.
Second?
A motion and a second, all in favor, Ed?
Yes.
Patrick?
Yes.
Michael?
Yes.
I vote yes as well. Is that all?
Thank you,
Chief?
Mr. Chairman. Thank you to the committee.
Thank you, sir. You're up, Darren. I'm sorry, Joanna, excuse me. Good evening. Okay, we'll start right through these. Nothing we can combine with, right, Patrick?
No.
Okay, the first one, request for transfer is coming from the civil engineer account. Amount requested $1,055.94, going to the wages full-time account. Reason for the transfer to cover payouts for employee ending employment with the town. Any questions?
Motion to approve?
Second,
Motion to second. All in favor? Ed?
Aye. Yes.
yes.
Patrick, sorry. And Michael?
Yes.
The next one, DPW Parks Division. This is coming from the advertising account. Amount did you vote yes? I did vote yes on that one. I did. I'm sorry. Very quiet, yes. Ed's eye threw me off. Pirate ship or something, I don't know.
That was great.
I'm sorry, so this one's coming from the DPW Parks Division, coming from the advertising account. Amount requested $452, going to the Parks overtime.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion and a second, all in favor, Ed?
Yes.
Patrick?
Yes.
Michael?
Yes.
And the vice chair votes yes. Next one coming from the civil engineer account. Amount requested $1,698, going to the Parks overtime.
Motion to approve.
And I apologize, at the bottom, there is a handwritten note for the reason to cover Parks overtime costs projected through end of fiscal year. We have motion, motion and a second, all in favor, Ed?
Yes.
Patrick?
Yes.
Michael?
Yes.
And chair votes yes. This one coming from the DPW Highway, from the Civil Engineer 2 account. This is amount requested $11,000, going to the Maintenance Fields account. This transfer will pay for new cameras is the reason. Yes, we have a question?
Are they replacing or are they adding?
They're replacement
They're all
cameras,
replacement.
replacement security cameras. But,
30?
sorry?
Replacement of 30 cameras?
No, I believe there's maybe 5 of them.
And technology-wise, a little better coverage, is this just for Pappas primarily, or is this other,
This is for Pappas only. Yes.
a little better coverage and
Uh,
hopefully to deter some of the issues, the bathrooms and other places that you folks are dealing with on a
Absolutely. So actually, part of the Parks overtime was part of the reason why we needed some transfers was because we've had vandalism in our parks. But these cameras will allow us to, the older cameras, the visibility wasn't great. So this will allow us to have better eyes on what's going on out there.
Okay, and the system integrates, obviously, I'm sure you guys have done your research, integrates with the stuff we have and monitoring at the police department and. Okay.
Yes, this is all the same system as the rest of the security cameras.
And just, I know Pappas has a reserve account, am I correct in that? Is that, obviously, how's this coming from the civil engineer and as opposed to utilizing reserve account? What was your decision-making?
So the cameras themselves were over $40,000. So that would be close to draining that account. And we had some excess funds in the civil engineer account, so figured it was a good use of that money.
Thank you.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion is second, all in favor? Ed?
Yes.
Patrick?
Yes.
Michael?
Yes.
And I vote yes as well. This one's coming from the cemetery division, coming from the dues account. Amount requested $530, going to the gas account. And the reason given is to cover the cost of the May and June gas invoices. Any questions?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion is second, all in favor? Ed?
Yes.
Patrick?
Yes.
Michael?
Yes.
And I vote yes as well.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, next one's coming from the Human Resources Department, coming out of the Salary Generalist account. Amount requested $3,984.67, going to the buyback account. Reason given, vacation buyback for town manager of 1 week as provided in employment contract.
Motion to approve.
Second.
The motion is second. All in favor? Ed?
Yes.
Patrick?
Yes.
Michael?
Yes.
And I vote yes as well. And this one is also from Human Resources, coming from the Salary Generalist account. Amount requested $2,281.78, going to the buyback account. This one is going to the reason given, vacation buyback for town accountant / CFO in the, for 1 week.
Motion to approve.
Second.
A motion and a second. All in favor? Ed?
Yes.
Patrick?
Yes.
Michael?
Yes.
And I vote yes as well. This one's from the Legal Services. Coming from General Counsel, amount requested $10,000. Going to the negotiator account, reason given to meet legal obligations for the rest of the fiscal year. we have questions on this one?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Michael, any questions?
I'm not sure I'm just curious if Karen has any background on it.
Karen, do you have any background on this one, where we are, and, are we currently in negotiation with any unions, or is this, another?
I sort of interpret it as there's 2 days left and we're paying a bill that's due, but actually, if you could clarify.
Yeah, I believe that there is a bill that needs to be paid, and the account is short by that amount right now. And this might also anticipate any invoices for the month of June as well.
Thanks.
Very good. Any other questions? Do we have a motion?
I made a motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor, Ed?
Yes.
Patrick?
Yes.
Michael?
Yes.
And I vote yes as well. And I think that is the end of our transfers. Okay, we have, that's it, Karen, we provided with a copy. There was this request from our previous meeting, the year-to-date budget report on the reserve account. I saw that was part of the packet.
Yes, I just wanted to provide the printout because there was a transfer from the reserve fund just to show what the balance is currently were in the accounts.
Thank you. And we have email, minutes that were emailed to you. If we don't have any questions on that, we'll accept them as we receive them. Okay. Any other questions or anything else?
Do we need to meet in the first 10 days of July to regroup, to reorganize?
Reorganize? When do we typically meet again?
Sometime in July, you typically meet it. It depends any transfers that are needed.
So what we'd wait for is maybe any last minute mid-year transfers for fiscal year '23, and then we would reorganize during that same meeting?
You have to reorganize after June 30th each year.
Right, but it's not within a fixed amount of time.
No,
Just-
no,
okay.
whatever the first meeting is, or.
Okay.
But you said our fiscal year is what, July 15 for?
Any transfers would have to be completed by July 15th, so I'm thinking maybe if the members are available on Wednesday, the 12th, or sometime
Is that
that
enough
week,
time?
if, yes, I believe so,
Would be enough time?
yes. I'll let you know if it's necessary, because I won't schedule a meeting until we know for sure that we need one.
Great.
Any other questions?
I can do that.
You good, Mike? Okay, we have a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second. Second? We can roll call on this one, too.
Aye.
Aye. That's good. Patrick?
Yes.
Yes. Michael?
Aye.
Thank you. And I say aye.
I couldn't.
Thank you. I'm gonna do the